Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So yes, it was time to get my daughter a new iPad as she's going to secondary school soon. She was using my OG iPad Air back from 2013 and it finally gave up. Not the iPad itself, but apps like YouTube and Netflix stopped supporting their older versions. This iPad, however, it still keeps going even after 10 years. Talk about reliability, huh? Isn't that absolutely amazing? So my choice out of the lot was the M1 iPad Air. I'll tell you why I chose this iPad out of all the iPads which Apple currently sells. Hopefully, it will help you if you're in a similar situation and deciding on which iPad to get for your school-going child. Now, with the iPad Air, you get a decent color selection, and my daughter's choice was the Starlight color. I feel it is a bit muted and looks like silver, but it still is a gorgeous shade. I don't think I can capture this well on the camera. I'm trying to show similar things lying around my house which has got the same shade, but I don't think this is showing up that well on camera. But this is silver and it's got a hint of gold in it. But yes, a really safe color choice without going out too bold. With the iPad Air, you get Apple's updated iPad design so it looks modern and future-proof. The screen, even though it's an LCD panel, it's really brilliant and vibrant at over 2K resolution. It is 60Hz panel, so it's not Apple's promotion display, but it is still pretty smooth thanks to the well-optimized iPad OS. You do get Apple's Touch ID, which is excellent and provides that security needed, and the stereo speakers provide a decent multimedia experience. Here, listen to this.
Hi guys, welcome to the full review of iPhone 15 Pro Max after a month of continuous usage. I will talk about everything from the new materials defects out of the box to battery life, overheating issues, and every way in which my user experience was improved considering all of its new features.
You do get a 12 million pixels wide-angle camera at the back that is capable of shooting 4K videos up to 60 FPS. There is also a decent 12 million pixels front camera which supports Apple's center stage functionality, so it keeps you in frame when you move around, and it is perfect for all your video calls. These cameras are perfectly fine, especially on an iPad for scanning textbooks and taking pictures of lectures for your school-going kids. Now, the reason why I chose this iPad for my daughter. First, it has to do with the silicon under the hood. This mid-range iPad gets the excellent Apple's M1 chip with full 8-core CPU and GPU configuration and 8 gigs of RAM under the hood. Usually the M series processors are reserved only for iPad Pros, but this is the first time the mid-range iPad Air gets that configuration as well. And this is really excellent, as if you know iPad OS, then devices with more RAM always enjoyed extended years of software support. So get this iPad and you will be set until your child finishes A-levels. For my Indian friends, that is junior college or intermediate. See, I've reviewed the iPad 10th generation as well, and that is a pretty solid iPad, but in comparison with the iPad Air, it gets the A14 Bionic chip which was launched with the iPhone 12 series, but more importantly, that iPad 10th generation only gets 4 gigs of RAM. So getting a far superior processor and twice the memory, it really is worth spending that extra cost to be covered for those extended years of support. Plus, the iPad Air is the only non-Pro iPad that gets full software and app support. I mean, with recent versions of iPad OS, Apple started doing something which they never did on their iPads. They started differentiating the software features and the app supports which iPads get. So things like Stage Manager and full screen external monitor support is only reserved for the recent iPad Pros and iPads with M series chips in them. So besides the iPad Pros, only the iPad Air gets support for these Pro features, which the iPad 10th generation, which was launched after this iPad Air, does not support. Granted that your child might not need these features right away, but they might do in a few years' time, so it's better to invest in something which does support that out of the box instead of upgrading again in like a year or two. Also, iPad Air is the only non-Pro iPad that supports Apple's Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro. Again, apps which are probably not needed right away, but it's good to have an iPad that supports it right away out of the box. And maybe Apple will continue this trend and introduce more such pro apps related to design, coding, or even music, which might be super useful for your child. So having an iPad that is powerful enough to support all of this is an absolute bonus. Then the Apple Pencil. Most of us take this for granted and say that Apple Pencil is only for artists, but after seeing my daughter use this every time when she does her homework or writing notes, I feel that this really is an important part of any tablet. Granted that all Apple iPads support some version of the Apple Pencil, but the best is certainly reserved for the iPad Air and the iPad Pro. This Apple Pencil Gen 2, which is supported for the iPad Air as well, has got the best charging and carrying solution of any stylus out there. Just snap it to the top, it pairs the Apple Pencil, charges it, and also stays stuck, so it always is with your iPad. You can even get cases like this ESR Rebound case, which has got an inbuilt Apple Pencil holder. So your Apple Pencil is with your iPad, connected, charged, and ready when you need it. And then the general smoothness of iPad operating system. I've seen my daughter do her homework and reading on an Android tablet as well, guys, and the way iPad works is so much better in comparison. Apps certainly feel better quality on iPad OS in comparison, and solely that reason makes it much more compelling to buy the iPads even if you have to pay a little more. And final point, don't underestimate the power of all those third-party accessories. The support of this is so strong that if you think of some requirement for your iPad, even a little strange, you'll probably find an accessory for that somewhere. From cases that do gymnastics to folding stands, docks, magnetic arms, there really is a wide selection which makes you get the most out of your iPad. I myself have reviewed so many different types of accessories on my channel. Please do check and you can see that wide variety. Adding magnet to the right places of the iPad, it really is one of the best moves which Apple has done, as it has opened up so many possibilities and third-party manufacturers are not wasting a single opportunity to take full advantage of that. So there you go, guys. Those are my compelling reasons why I chose iPad Air 5th generation over the others. To sum it all up, I feel that the 9th gen iPad is good for younger children as it supports older design and it is easier to hold. Perfect for watching content and playing games, so your little one is occupied when you want a room for a breather. The iPad 10th gen is pretty solid, but I only wish if it was priced a bit cheaper and not so close to the iPad Air, then that would have made a bigger difference. The iPad Pros are way too expensive for a child, and I feel that they are a bit excessive as well. And yes, the iPad mini, it's an amazing iPad which is so light and it is absolutely a dream to hold and carry around. However, you don't want your child to work or do their homework on a smaller screen. So that leaves us with the iPad Air, which I feel is a perfect midpoint, offering the power of the iPad Pros for that $500 price mark. And now with Black Friday, Cyber Monday and Christmas deals, you can get this iPad for even cheaper price. I paid like about £475 for this iPad, brand new from Currys here in the UK, which I feel is an incredible bargain. So do shop around for deals before you buy this iPad. And yes, one last thing. I know this storage is a measly 64 gigabytes, which sticks out like a sore thumb on an otherwise perfect iPad, but you need to put up with this, guys. And I don't recommend spending more to get that additional storage, as if you start doing that, the price skyrockets to iPad Pro territory. So the best thing to do is use cloud storage along with external hard drives. This iPad Air has got USB-C 3.1 Gen 2 port, so you do get faster data transfer speeds as well. So those are my reasons, guys, why I opted for the M1 iPad Air 5th generation as the main iPad for my daughter. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Do you agree with me or not? Whatever it is, please do drop that in the comment section down below. And if you're enjoying my content, a like to this video would be immensely helpful. And please do consider subscribing, guys, so I can keep making these videos for you. And as always, thanks a lot for staying with me until the end. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.